Enough of this.
AIDS talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? A dog? Yeah. Would you give
I'm not gonna get it. Like,
I'm not gonna get it.
no, if I did though, could I give it to my dog?
Yeah.
Yep, dogs
Would
have
they
got
die? Would they
the
die?
coronavirus. I don't know.
There's no way a dog would survive that. If Lil got the, I don't know.
Oh my god, my dog got the corona.
On
I don't know.
a more positive note, why don't we do this problem?
Yeah, it's a really funny.
Ah.
Wait, are we trying to find the rule? Okay.
Yes. Find the rule or the rules, because remember, it might be a special case.
But it's not.
Okay. You keep telling yourself that.
It's not. It's only a special case if it's even. Oh shoot. This one's
Wait, I had it even though. Maybe it is a, I think it is a special
Oh, my
case.
scooters.
Wait, it definitely is. It was crap.
Crap and a crap, right? Oops, I forgot one more line.
Negative 4 x on the 81. No.
So, are we in full agreement that this is where we got to?
Yes.
Purple or orange, which one do we want to solve for G sub 1?
Purple.
Purple?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Different is right. Oh, good. Sorry.
It's kind of a personal question.
I've never
Well, aren't you special?
cold sores are you recording?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Wait, were you recording?
I don't think
Both
it's
of
AIDS.
No.
Cold sores are a form of herpes.
They are, actually.
I have never had herpes.
That you are aware of.
That I am aware of. Do not tell your friends I have. It's on
What do we get for an R value?
Plus or minus 3.
Plus or minus 3, because we're taking the fourth root. 4 is an even number, so it becomes plus or minus 3 is my R value.
I don't think I understand.
If it's
This
even.
number right here. If it's even,
Oh.
it's plus or minus. If it's odd, whatever it is.
I'm gonna forget about that. Whatever, this doesn't have to be.
So my first one would be positive 3. If I put positive 3 in, then I get negative 1 as my first term, which gives me a rule of G sub n equals negative 1 times the quantity positive 3 to the n minus 1 power. If I plug in negative 3, oops, that should have been black, not green. Then I get positive 1 as my first term. So that would also give me a rule of G sub n equals positive 1 times negative 3 to the n minus 1 power. It is a special case. Contrary to popular belief. Sure, how far? That's the whole problem. Minus the little cut off the little G in the end. Today is a good day for math. find sums today.
Yay.
Yay! Now, the downfall is that because we are dealing with geometric sequences and series, that the sum formula is a little more complicated than the arithmetic world. But luckily, we are smart enough to be able to handle this. Okay? So, the sum of the first n terms of a geometric series with a common ratio not equal to 1 is one of those two. They both will get you the exact same answer. We'll do problems today using one, and then we'll do another problem using the other, and so on and so forth, just so that you see how to use both of them. But I can tell you that you will get the same answer using both. It's all a matter of what you want to find. On the left one, you need to find the first term, the common ratio, and the number of terms. On the right one, you need to find the last term, the common ratio, and the first term. So for each of them, you are finding 3 things. It's just a matter of personal preference which 3 things you want to find.
So you said using either one of these just so get the same.
We'll get the same answer. On the very first example, we will do it both ways. Just to prove. Good?
No.
Why are you yelling at me? Coat scratcher over here. Good? All right, here we go. All right, so where do we find the stuff that we need? Well, one thing that we are going to need is we are going to need to find G sub 1. Well, G sub 1 in the rule is right there. G sub 1 over here in sigma notation is you plug the start into the rule. Yeah. One thing that we need is n. N is right here or right there in the rule, or it's given to you in the problem. Find the sum of the first 10 terms. Over here in sigma notation, n is end minus start plus 1. We need r. In the rule, r is right there. In sigma notation, r is the number with an exponent. So whichever number has an exponent on it, that's your r value. G sub n is my last term over here, over on the sigma side. we plug in the end.
Isn't R like the difference?
What do you mean?
Like the second term divided by the first term?
Yep. Which would be another way to find R. Any term divided by the term right before. Yep. Now, I recall some words that were spoken yesterday in geometric sequences. What's our feelings on fractions? That's your feelings. What's our feelings?
We like them.
We love them. And so all of our answers are in fraction form. Okay? Yep. So your personal feelings might be you don't like them. But trust me when I say this, it will make your life easier if you embrace the fractions.
Embrace.
What's wrong?
What is that?
You tell me. What does it mean?
I don't know.
What does it mean? What does sigma notation mean? Sum. You gotta find the sum. Which form do you want to use? You tell me.
The top one would be easier, right? You have the R, you have the first term. Wait, do we have the first term?
You tell me. Okay, so let's find the stuff. So where you want? Well, let's do a top one first, and then we'll do the bottom one second. Excuse me. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit, because then I can bring this up a little bit, and then I can slide that over there. There we go. Love it. So we need, if I'm using the top one, I need the first term. How do I find the first term?
Plug 1 into I.
1 into I. So that's going to be 4 times 1/2 to the 1 minus 1 power. 1 minus 1 is
0.
0. 1/2 to the 0 power is
1.
1 times 4 is 4. So my first term is 4. I need my R value. Where is my R value?
Um,
1/2. It's the number that has the exponent on it. 1/2 is the number with the exponent on it. I need my N, my total number of terms. How do I find the total number of terms?
the top. The 6 is the total number.
And minus the start plus 1.
So 6 minus 1 plus 1 is 6.
Why do you have to do that? The minus 1 plus 1.
Because it's not always 1. Like sometimes it's
Like when?
like sometimes the start isn't when I say like I.
So last week, what I said was just get in the habit of going top minus start plus 1, no matter what. You were probably dancing at that point in time.
Or did you?
Yeah, too. Okay. Do I have enough information now to do the first one? Or the first one? Because I've got G sub 1, I got R, I love it. Okay, let's do it. Oops, let me bring this down with it. Okay. So this is going to tell me then that the sum of the first 6 terms is going to be 4 times the quantity 1/2 raised to the 6th power minus 1 divided by 1/2 minus 1. Uh, 1/2 to the 6th power. 1/2 to the 6th power is 1 to the 6th power divided by 2 to the 6th power,
Which is 1/64.
which is 1/64. One-half minus 1. Yes. 1/64 minus 1.
Negative 1/64. Right?
No.
Would it be negative 63/64?
Yes, it would be.
What? Excuse.
How did
Tony, they're going to need some explanation.
Yeah, Tony.
So 1 is essentially 64 of 64.
Love it so far.
So if you take and subtract those,
Oh, wow. 1 minus 6. Yeah.
Thanks for making us feel dumb, Tony.
anytime, Jacob.
Dividing by negative 1/2 is what's dividing by negative 1/2? Multiplying by
Negative.
negative 2. Does 2 go into 64? Give me another chance.
Yes.
How many times?
I got 7.
Does 2 go into 64?
32
Yeah.
times.
32 times. Does 4 go into 32?
Yeah.
How many times?
8. Oh, this is a lot.
It's still the same problem.
Negative 63 times negative 1.
Positive
8 times 1.
Could we make it like simplified?
That is simplified.
yeah,
Well, no, like make it like 7 and 7/8.
No,
Why?
because we don't like improper fractions or mixed up numbers. We like improper fractions.
This is an improper.
This is an improper fraction. Much cleaner. Guess what I just took away from you?
The calculator. That is what you took away from me. I don't like that. The answer is 7 7/8, but because that is 7 7/8.
It is
Yeah, well, there's a way to make a mixed number into an improper fraction. I just don't know how to do that.
It's a triangle.
It's
Yeah.
Teach me.
It's
Is it like
pretty,
plus
it's pretty
divided
tough.
by?
No, you just go second in the fraction key.
Which one's the fraction?
The one that's ABC.
Oh, 63. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Wait, what?
Do you have your calculator set up so it's a fraction?
Yeah.
How do you
You have to start with by typing in fraction. If you type in fractions, you'll
This is
calculate
no,
will
look,
give you
this is
fractions.
the fraction key right here. So you can just do like 1/2. That's one.
All right, let's do the same problem the other way. So now I need the nth term. So that means I need g sub n, which is g sub 6. So I'm going to plug 6 into my rule. 4 times 1/2 to the 6 minus 1 power. 6 minus 1 is 5. So this is 4 times 1/2 to the 5th power, which is 1/32. So that becomes my 6th term is 1/8.
figure it out?
That's my last term. Then I also need my R value. My R value is still 1/2. And I still need my first term, G sub 1, would be 4 times 1/2 to the 1 minus 1 power, which was 4. We had found that earlier in our mathematicals. So then this is the sum of the 6 terms that we have is equal to my last term, 1/8, times my R value, 1/2, minus my first term, which is 4, divided by my R value, minus 1. 1/8 times 1/2 is 1/16. 1/16 minus 4, then over negative 1/2. 4 is like 64/16. So then this becomes negative 63 over 16. Dividing by negative 1/2 is multiplying by negative 2. Two goes into 16 8 times. Negative 63 times negative 1 is 63. 8 times 1 is 8. Yes. Find the sum of the first 10 terms. Top one or bottom one? Which one you want to do?
Let's go top again.
Top again? Okay. So we need our first term. I get 4 as my first term again. Would you concur? Yeah. Need my R value. Need my N value. Need my N value. 10. Jacob's going to ask the question, where did you come up with 10?
We have to find the first one.
Because it says right in the problem, find the sum of the first 10 terms.
And
And
it's number of terms.
that is your number of terms. Okay? So the sum then of the first 10 terms is going to be my first term, 4, times 1/2 to the 10th power minus 1 all over 1/2 minus 1. Two to the 10th power, I believe, is 1024. Yes or no?
Mhm.
2 to the 10th power, 1024. Okay. 1 1024th minus 1.
Negative 1023.
Over
1024.
Yep.
That little trick is a good trick.
It's a good trick.
Wow.
Dividing by negative 1/2 is the same as multiplying by negative 2. Does 4 go into 1024? How many times?
256.
Does 2 go into 256?
Yeah.
128.
On top, I get positive 1023. On the bottom, I get positive 128.
Are all of these answers going to be fractions?
No. But we like them.
Apparently.
Okay. Questions, comments, concerns, clarifications? Ready to try one solely on your own? Go for it. Negative 2 raised to 15. I know. R is negative 2. So the sum of the first 15 terms is going to be negative 32,768 times negative 2 minus negative 20 divided by negative 2 minus 1.
Oh, you're doing it.
I'm doing the second one. That's the one you told me to do.
I said whatever.
So then I gotta multiply that by negative 2, not negative 5. Come on, Lindsay, you're better than that. So that gets me 65,536 plus 20 divided by negative 3. That's 65556 grapes.
Okay, Liz, before you go any further, I think you messed up earlier.
Where?
G15, you forgot to multiply by 10. Just add a 0.
Oh,
onto the
gotta add a 0 onto the end. Yeah. Yep, forgot that one. So I gotta add a 0 onto the end there. So then that's gonna change this. Change this. So then that's times negative 2 would be 655,360 plus 20. 655,380 divided by -3 gets me the sum is negative 218,460. Use the top one or the bottom? Good. Try that one.
I think the first one.
Where'd you get the 18 from?
You have to plug it back into the.
You gotta plug your start into the rule. So you gotta plug 3 into your rule. You probably only plugged in 1.
Yeah.
You tricked them. You tricked me.
In fact, remember when you asked the question, why do we do top minus bottom plus 1?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Listen back to the video. So.
Why'd you do N? If we didn't need it.
So that we knew what the sum of how many terms we were doing.
It wouldn't be 7.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be 7?
Top minus bottom plus 1. Literally, I'm sorry. Before I say literally.
Isn't that 4? Oh, you do plus 1.
My bad.
Your B?
My B.
Got it.
Now it's all on.
So if we did put the 5, would the whole thing be wrong?
What do you mean?
Like, if we didn't do the N part, and if we got the right answer, but we didn't put the S5 equals 2178, would that the whole thing be wrong?
Did you just put S equals?
Well, I just put S and N. So I guess that's not.
Not 100% wrong. Not 100% right.
But you take points off?
Unless it's Jacobs.
Okay. Well, I'm not Jacob, so.
There you go. You don't just throw papers randomly on the floor.
I put them in my box.
Due Monday. I also remind you that next week, Tuesday, you have a formative. Next week, Wednesday, you have a quiz. Next week, Friday, is a Chromebook and earbuds day. Need your Chromebook and your earbuds next week, Friday.